Most poultry farmers are spending money on vaccines and medications they don't actually need, not because modern medicine does not work, but because they have never been shown a simpler, cheaper, and more natural way to keep their birds healthy. Right now, there are powerful herbal plants growing in backyards, farms, and even along roadsides, plants that can strengthen your chicken's immune system, help fight infections, reduce parasites, and drastically cut down how much you spend on treatments. And the surprising part is this: many experienced farmers already use these methods quietly, but most beginners never hear about them. In this video, you're going to discover 6 powerful herbal plants that can help you raise healthier chickens, support natural immunity, and move closer to a truly self-sufficient system. And make sure you stay until the end, because the last plant on this list is one of the most powerful, yet most ignored tools in sustainable poultry farming. A small backyard farmer once lost nearly half his flock in just 2 weeks. Not because he was careless, not because he didn't feed them properly, but because he was trapped in a cycle. Every time a disease appeared, he rushed to buy medication. Every time birds got weak, he bought supplements. And slowly, the cost kept increasing, while the results kept disappointing him. He was reacting instead of preventing. That is the reality for many people today. They rely completely on external solutions, without realizing that nature already provides powerful support systems for poultry health. This is where herbal remedies for chickens come in. This is not about completely replacing modern veterinary care, but about building a stronger foundation, so your birds are less likely to get sick in the first place. Because when your chickens have strong natural immunity, everything changes. You spend less, you lose fewer birds, and your entire system becomes more sustainable. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which plants to grow, how to use them, and how to turn simple herbs into a natural support system for your flock. Let's start with one of the most powerful and widely available options: garlic. This might look like a simple kitchen ingredient, but for chickens, it is one of the most effective natural tools you can use. Garlic has been used for centuries as a natural antibiotic, and in poultry, it plays a major role in supporting natural poultry health. It helps boost the immune system, making your chickens more resistant to infections. It also has antibacterial and antifungal properties that can help reduce the risk of disease spreading within your flock. But what makes garlic even more valuable is how easy it is to use. You do not need any complicated preparation. You can simply crush a few cloves of garlic and add them to your chicken's drinking water. When mixed properly, it releases compounds that support their internal health. Some farmers also mix crushed garlic directly into feed. And over time, this simple habit can make a noticeable difference. Chickens become more active, their resistance improves, and you begin to see fewer health issues. Another hidden benefit is that garlic can help improve digestion. And when your birds digest their food properly, they absorb more nutrients, which leads to stronger growth and better overall condition. Now think about this for a moment. Instead of constantly spending money on medications, you are using something cheap, accessible, and natural, something you can even grow yourself. This is a foundation of self-sufficient living. But as powerful as garlic is, it is only the beginning, because the next plant takes things even further. Turmeric. This golden-colored spice is often overlooked in poultry farming, but it is one of the strongest natural tools for maintaining a healthy flock. Turmeric is widely used in sustainable farming systems because of its powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. In simple terms, it helps your chickens fight stress, recover faster, and stay stronger. When chickens experience stress, whether from weather changes, overcrowding, or minor infections, their immune system weakens. And that is when problems begin. Turmeric helps reduce that stress internally. It supports the body's natural ability to fight off disease, which is exactly what you want if you're trying to raise healthy chickens without relying heavily on drugs. The key compound in turmeric is called curcumin. You do not need to understand the science deeply, just know this. It helps reduce inflammation and supports healing inside the body. And when used consistently, it can make your flock more resilient. Using turmeric is also very simple. You can add a small amount of turmeric powder to your chicken's feed. It mixes easily, and over time, it becomes part of their regular diet. Some farmers combine turmeric with garlic for even better results. And this combination is often used in backyard chicken care systems where the goal is to maintain health naturally. Another benefit of turmeric is that it can help improve appetite. Chickens that eat well grow well, and chickens that grow well are less likely to become weak or vulnerable to disease. Now imagine this. You are not just feeding your chickens. You are strengthening them with every meal. That is the difference between reactive farming and proactive farming. One waits for problems. The other prevents them. And when you start applying these simple herbal strategies, you begin to shift into a more sustainable, more controlled system. But here is the thing. Even with garlic and turmeric, there is still a major problem many farmers struggle with. Parasites. Internal worms and external pests can quietly damage your flock without you even realizing it, until it becomes serious. And this is where the next plant becomes extremely important, because it does something most people overlook completely. And once you understand it, you will never ignore it again. But here's the truth most poultry farmers don't realize early enough. Parasites are one of the biggest silent killers in any flock. They don't always show obvious signs at first. Your chickens may still be eating, still moving around, still looking normal on the surface. But internally, something is slowly draining them. Nutrients are being stolen. Growth is being reduced. Immunity is being weakened. And by the time you notice weight loss, dull feathers, or weakness, the damage has already started. This is why smart farmers focus on prevention, not reaction. And one of the most powerful natural tools for this is something many people already know, but completely underestimate: Neem. Neem is one of the strongest natural plants used in organic chicken farming, especially when it comes to parasite control. In many traditional farming systems, Neem is considered a natural protector, and for good reason. It contains compounds that parasites simply cannot tolerate. When used properly, Neem helps create an environment inside and around your chickens that is hostile to worms, pests, and harmful organisms. This is why it is often used as a herbal dewormer for chickens. Now, instead of waiting until your birds are infected and then spending money on chemical treatments, you are actively reducing the chances of parasites becoming a problem in the first place. That is a completely different mindset. Using Neem is also very practical. You can use the leaves in different ways. Some farmers soak neem leaves in water and give that water to their chickens in controlled amounts. Others dry the leaves and mix small quantities into feed. It can also be used around the coop. Neem leaves or extracts can help reduce external pests like mites and insects, making your chickens more comfortable and less stressed. And when your birds are not constantly battling parasites, they grow better, eat better, and stay healthier. This is what natural poultry health looks like. You are not just treating symptoms. You are building a system that protects your flock from the inside out. But here is something important to understand. Even if you control parasites, even if you boost immunity, your chickens can still face another major challenge: injury, stress, and internal damage. Sometimes chickens get small wounds. Sometimes their digestive system becomes irritated. Sometimes they just need support to recover faster. And this is where the next plant becomes incredibly valuable: aloe vera. Most people know aloe vera as something used for human skin, but very few realize how powerful it can be in backyard chicken care. Aloe vera is one of the best natural healing plants you can use for poultry. It works both internally and externally. Internally, aloe vera helps soothe the digestive system. If your chickens are experiencing irritation, poor digestion, or stress from changes in feed or environment, aloe vera can help calm and support their system. It promotes better gut health. And when the gut is healthy, everything else improves, because a large part of your chicken's immune system is connected to its digestive system. Externally, aloe vera can be used to support wound healing. Small cuts, pecking injuries, or skin irritations can be treated using aloe vera gel. It helps reduce inflammation, supports healing, and protects the affected area. Now think about how powerful this is. Instead of rushing to buy different products for every small issue, you have one plant that handles multiple problems. That is the essence of sustainable farming. You simplify your system while improving results. Using aloe vera is also very easy. You can extract the gel directly from the plant and mix a small amount into water for your chickens, or apply it gently to affected areas when needed. And over time, This becomes part of your regular management system. Not something you panic about, but something you control. At this point, if you are paying attention, you are starting to see a pattern. These are not just random plants. Each one plays a specific role. Garlic supports immunity. Turmeric reduces internal stress and inflammation. Neem handles parasites. Aloe vera supports healing and gut health. This is how you build a complete natural support system. And if you're still watching right now, you are already ahead of most farmers, because most people will never take the time to understand this. They will keep spending, keep reacting, and keep struggling with the same problems. But you are learning how to prevent them. And here is where things start to get even more interesting, because the next two plants are not just supportive, they are transformational. They help take your flock from just surviving to truly thriving. Let's talk about something many people overlook because it feels too common to be powerful. Scent leaf, also known as basil in some regions. Most people see it as just a kitchen herb, something you use for cooking, something you smell, something you ignore when it comes to serious farming. But that is a mistake, because scent leaf is one of the most underrated herbal remedies for chickens. It plays a major role in boosting immunity and improving digestion. And when used consistently, it contributes to maintaining a healthy flock naturally. Scent leaf contains natural compounds that help fight harmful bacteria. It also supports the digestive system, helping chickens process their feed more efficiently. And just like you've seen with the other plants, better digestion leads to better nutrient absorption. Better nutrient absorption leads to stronger birds. And stronger birds are less likely to fall sick. Using scent leaf is simple. You can chop fresh leaves and mix them into your chicken's feed. Some farmers also add it to water in small amounts. And because it is easy to grow, it fits perfectly into any homesteading setup. Now imagine this. Instead of relying completely on commercial products, your backyard self becomes part of your feeding and health system. That is what self-sufficient living looks like. You're not just raising chickens. You are building an ecosystem. But even with all these plants, there is still one final piece. One plant that brings everything together. One plant that is not just about protection, not just about healing, but about complete nutritional support. And once you start using it, you will begin to see a major difference in how your chickens grow, behave, and perform. And this final plant is something many farmers walk past every single day without realizing its true value. And this final plant might be the most powerful of them all, not because it fights one specific problem, but because it strengthens everything. Moringa. In many parts of the world, Moringa is known as a miracle tree, but in poultry farming, it is something even more important. It is a foundation. Moringa is packed with nutrients, vitamins, minerals, proteins, all in one plant. And when you introduce it into your chicken's diet, something interesting begins to happen. Your birds don't just survive. They start to thrive. Their feathers become stronger. Their energy levels improve. Their growth becomes more consistent. And most importantly, their immune system becomes more resilient. This is what separates average flocks from healthy, productive ones. Because at the end of the day, disease does not just come from outside. It takes advantage of weakness inside. And Moringa helps eliminate that weakness. It builds strength from within. This is why it plays a major role in sustainable farming systems. Because instead of constantly fixing problems, you are building birds that can resist them naturally. Using Moringa is simple. You can dry the leaves and grind them into powder, then mix small amounts into your chicken's feed. Some farmers also use fresh leaves, chopped and added directly. And over time, it becomes one of the most valuable parts of your entire system. Now think about everything you've seen so far. Garlic, turmeric, neem, aloe vera, scent leaf, and now Moringa. Each one plays a role. Each one solves a problem. But together, they create something much bigger. A natural system. A system where your chickens are not constantly dependent on external solutions. A system where you are in control. A system where your costs go down and your results go up. This is what organic chicken farming truly looks like when done properly. It is not about avoiding everything modern. It is about using what is natural to reduce what is expensive. It is about balance. And once you understand that balance, everything changes. Now, let's take a moment to bring everything together. Because information without clarity is useless. Garlic helps boost immunity and fight infections. Turmeric supports internal healing and reduces stress. Neem protects against parasites and pests. Aloe vera promotes healing and supports gut health. Scent leaf improves digestion and strengthens resistance. And Moringa provides deep nutritional support that strengthens the entire system. When you combine these, you are no longer just raising chickens. You are raising strong, resilient birds naturally. And this is where most people begin to see the real difference. Fewer diseases, lower costs, better growth, and a system that becomes easier to manage over time. But here is something important you need to understand. This is not magic. This is consistency. These plants do not work because you use them once. They work because they become part of your routine, part of your system, part of your daily or weekly management. That is how you build a healthy flock naturally, not by reacting to problems, but by preventing them before they even start. Now imagine this. You wake up every day knowing your chickens are strong. You are not constantly worried about sudden disease outbreaks. You are not rushing to buy medications every time something looks wrong. Instead, you are calm because you know your system is working. That is the power of natural poultry health. And that is exactly what more farmers are beginning to move towards. Because the truth is simple. The more dependent you are on expensive inputs, the harder it becomes to sustain your farm. But the more you build your system around what is natural and available, the more control you gain. This is how small backyard farmers grow into confident, successful poultry keepers. This is how homesteading becomes practical. This is how self-sufficient living becomes real. Not complicated, not expensive, just smart. Now here is something I want you to think about. Out of these 6 plants, which ones do you already have access to? Which ones can you start using immediately? Because you don't need to wait. You don't need to overthink it. Start small. Pick 1 or 2. Begin using them consistently. Observe your chickens. Watch how they respond. And slowly build your system from there. That is how real progress happens. Step by step. Now, if this video opened your eyes even a little, then you are exactly the kind of person this channel was created for. Because here, we are not just talking about farming. We are building smarter systems. Systems that save money. Systems that work with nature. Systems that actually make sense. So if you want to learn how to feed your chickens without buying expensive feed, if you want to discover simple backyard systems that can support your livestock naturally, if you want practical, real-world homesteading tips that you can actually apply, then you need to be part of this. Make sure you subscribe to Herd and Harvest, because this is where you learn how to turn small ideas into powerful systems. And more importantly, this is where you stop depending on expensive solutions and start building your own. There's a video waiting for you right now that shows you how to feed your chickens without relying on commercial feed. And once you watch it, you will start to see how everything connects. Your feed, your health system, your entire setup. So don't stop here. Click on the next video and take the next step toward building a smarter, stronger, and more self-sufficient farm. Because once you understand this, there is no going back. Welcome to Herd and Harvest.